Buongiorno a tutti. Thank you for having me today for this wonderful event organized by the General Counsel of Italy, Mauro Lorenzini, and our sponsor Enit for this project called the Turismo delle Radici, the Tourism of the Roots, to make sure that all immigrants in Italy, they know where they come from. So we want to make sure that we present some of these beautiful recipes from different regions. Today, we are in Valtellina, in Lombardy region, and we're going to move down south to Calabria with another beautiful recipes. The first recipes will be a traditional from the Valtellina area. We are in the province of Sondrio, like I mentioned before. Very rural, very antique recipes from the region. It's called pizzoccheri, made with the buckwheat flour, and the ingredients are butter, bitto, which is a typical cheese from the region, Parmigiano Reggiano, we have potatoes, and we have collard greens, which will be substituted during the season with the cabbage or green beans. For these recipes, like I said, they call pizzoccheri. We need the pizzoccheri pasta made with the buckwheat flour, and no eggs in these recipes. This is how poor is this recipes, because it doesn't have any eggs, just water and buckwheat flour with the regular flour. We're going to combine the butter, the cheese, the potatoes, and Parmigiano Reggiano. Very easy to make. It's we're going to cook the pasta first. We're going to put the pizzoccheri inside the boiling water. In the pan, we're going to put some butter. See the difference between the north part of Italy and the south part of Italy. Butter is a main ingredient, which in the south will be the olive oil. And the cheese is very present almost in any recipe. So you're going to see even later on when we talk about Calabria, how the ingredients change completely. So the butter is getting melted. Right. Pizzoccheri now it became like a recipe. It says it's a DOP, so it means that they have a very strict rule about where the pasta come from and where the cheese come from. It became like a mozzarella di bufala. It's a DOP. It's di origine protetta. I also display more ingredients right here. This is speck prosciutto, which is very close to South Tyrol region, which is the next region. But also they use the speck prosciutto even in other recipes in Valtellina. Patate. So this. So the pasta is almost ready. At this point, we want to add more ingredient in the water. Like I said, potatoes, which is already been pre-steamed and pre-cooked. So we're gonna add to the water, and we're gonna put a little bit of collard greens with the pasta. Like I said, all these ingredients that was like whatever the farmer they have in the field. So as you see, we have a butter, we have a greens, we have a potatoes. Things that usually they have already in the farm, so it was nothing complicated. But now it became like a traditional dish from the region. Okay, so just the time to warm it up the potatoes and the collard greens. We are ready to saute the pasta with the butter. And then we're gonna add the other two main ingredients, which is the Parmigiano Reggiano and bitto. Bitto is another cheese from Valchiavenna that is a very typical from the region, and also it's a DOP cheese from the region. Okay, so you see we have the pasta and the potatoes. Like I said, you can change ingredient. As the greens, you can use the green beans or cabbage. It depends the season. Okay. So we're gonna add Parmigiano Reggiano. We're gonna add the bitto, the cheese, And basically what you want to do is just make sure the cheese is melting together. You see the cream is already coming up. Also use some pepper. Taste. And we are ready to plate. See? So here we have the traditional pizzoccheri alla valtellinese. See the cheese nice melting together. There we go. So we're gonna finish with a little bit more cheese and a little bit more pepper. And buon appetito. Okay? Now we're gonna move very down south from Valtellina, which we are in Calabria. And when you talk about Calabria, you talk about spicy, pepper, olive oil, and cheese, like a smoked cheese or caciocavallo silano. In this case, we're gonna use those ingredients. We're gonna use nduja calabrese, which is a spreadable sausage with a lot of paprika, like a spicy paprika. Is this chili basically grinded up very fine in powder and mixed with pork and make this soft sausage that's called nduja. We're gonna use bread, we're gonna use tomato sauce, and we're gonna use smoked buffalo mozzarella. Very simple recipes. We melt the nduja, which is right here. We're gonna put in a pan, and we're gonna add a couple of spoons of tomatoes. We're gonna make crostini basically. We're gonna toast some bread, and we're gonna top with a little bit of smoked mozzarella. Okay. Yeah. And we're gonna use a little bit of basil. Okay. So you see the nduja is already melted with the tomatoes. Basically, you want to create like a paste. It's a mix of nduja calabrese, which is it's a spicy, but not extremely spicy. So also they have a different grade of spiciness when you go to Calabria between the east and west coast of Calabria. So they're making a different grade of spiciness. Okay, so we're ready here. Very quick, you see. We created just a paste. Then we're gonna spread on top of the crostini. I already pre-cut those focaccia crostini. We're gonna toast a little bit in the oven. But you can grill in a regular grill, or you can put it like in a Teflon pan with a little bit of olive oil. It will be work just fine. Bread, it's nice and toast. We're gonna spread the bread with or mix of nduja. Remember, you want to cover all the part of the bread, so when you put it back in the oven, it's no bread being exposed directly to the flame, so you avoid any crispness. All right, generous spread of nduja. All right, and we're gonna put a couple of slice of smoked mozzarella on top. Very easy to make also for a party, especially now for Christmas. You have all the color. You have the red, the green, the white. And also we're gonna put a little bit of oregano. And a little bit of olive oil. Like I told you before, the ingredient between north and south are very much different. So the olive oil is always the king in the south, while in the north the butter make appearance almost everywhere. 1 minute in the oven and we're gonna be ready to plate. After 2 minutes, we're gonna take off the crostini. You see how nice and melted crispy they are. But you know, we have the luxury to use the brick oven here, but at home you can easily use the regular oven from your kitchen. So here we are, crostini alla calabrese, which is crostini with duja, pomodoro, and buffalo smoked mozzarella. Remember, this is a very easy recipe that everybody can make. Again, I want to thank you, the Consul General of Italy, Mauro Lorenzini, the ENIT, our sponsor, and thank you for having me and display these classic, beautiful recipes for our bel paese, l'Italia. I see you soon and grazie ancora. Thank you.